with Bottle Rocket News, and I'm so thrilled to bring you a section that we're calling The Future is Different and It's Here Now. The world that we are living in is dramatically different from the world that existed only weeks and months ago, when COVID-19 was not well understood and prevalent around the globe. Already in the US, we've seen an addition of $5 trillion of debt to our already $23 trillion of debt in order to try to stimulate the economy. I want you to know that we will get through this, and our opportunity to serve is here now. But as we move through this period of time, there will be a new normal. There will be things that we have to do in this current environment that are different from the way we were living our lives only a few weeks ago. How should businesses adapt? How will customer preferences change? These are some of the questions that we hope to answer today. In addition, what does the future look like? Will we travel less? Will we work from home more? Will we access healthcare delivery differently or shop in a new way? Again, we're going to dive into some of those questions here on Bottle Rocket News. So I'm here with some of my colleagues from the Bottle Rocket team, and we're going to go to Peter Klayman, who's going to tell us a little bit about what do you see trends-wise amongst the Bottle Rocket clients, and what do you think brands should be thinking about as they prepare for this world of COVID-19? Peter.
Thanks, Rajesh. So yeah, I mean, really what we're seeing is one, keep in mind that you have two different scenarios that may play out here. One is a more drastic return to normal in, let's say, the next 3-month period of time. And the other is 12 to 18 months of social distancing. I know for many of you that are business leaders, that's a tough pill to swallow. It might seem inconceivable. But across the world, we're seeing fears of second waves. So keep that in mind. Do some scenario planning and do the resilience planning of how will we return to normal if it's a 3-month period of time? And how will we return to normal if it's 12 to 18 months of social distancing? Your business may fundamentally need to change. And that's what we're seeing from our clients. One, we're seeing a huge backlog that in the past was always dream things you always wish you could get, being authorized on a daily basis. CEOs, CFOs, COOs are much more visible to what's going on with the digital teams because digital has become one of the main touch points of brands. The second thing we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of adaptability. So we're seeing distribution in terms of how firms deal with it. Even at a national level, the policy may be one way, but at a local level, each brand interprets it differently. So keep in mind that this variance can be good as long as it aligns with guidance on social distancing and general health recommendations. Also keep in mind, learn from the variance. Learn from what your team is doing in the field and gather that information. And it might not be readily available, but see if there's insights that you can find. So if we were to say one thing for brands to pay attention to, we'd say plan for multiple scenarios, be aware of the fact that these consumer trends are here to stay. It takes 66 days to build a habit, and we're getting close to that point, and expect longer durations of social distancing.
Thanks so much, Peter. Really appreciate that insight. Maybe we could go to Tim now. Tim, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing from a mobile usage perspective, and how do you think trends are shifting in this current world of COVID-19?
Absolutely, Rajesh. So, first thing I'll say is that tech's kind of a funny thing, So, it takes a lot to get customers or users to make an action on a mobile app. But once you do get them to take that action and it does provide some value, they usually don't take that step back anymore. They usually stay there and progress with that technology. And so we're already seeing a lot of, a large shift of customer usage within apps in different markets. Like we've looked into the QSR market and the healthcare market and the entertainment market. So if we look at QSR in particular, just a few things that jump out, one thing is across like Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, Starbucks, and Subway, the review volume, the number of people that are rating the apps and are reviewing it has really spiked since these brands have started responding on Twitter, which was around the March 15th timeframe. Another interesting insight in the QSR market is, where is the volume of this usage going within those brands? So we've actually seen like Starbucks and Chick-fil-A have really decreased in their usage of their mobile app because, I think they rely heavily on the lunchtime crowd or the morning time crowd to come in and using the apps to do that. But then you see brands like Burger King or Subway, for example, have really jumped up. And I think that might be as a result of some of the responses that we're seeing in their engagement messages. So there's a lot of interesting things across the board to look at. And I think we're going to continue to see different things, and these brands respond in creative ways as a result of customer behavior shifting.
Yeah, and I think it's an important note there to make that
Thanks so much.
we're not necessarily in line with what's going on the platform, but we're using reviews as a proxy for engagement with the platform. So I think the truth is going to be in the revenue statistics we hear at the quarter close, but we're seeing early stage indicators through these reviews, which we're taking to be good proxies for overall levels of application engagement.
Great. I really appreciate that insight, Tim and Peter. So, you know, I think one of the things that we're thrilled about at Bottle Rocket News is the opportunity to look ahead and say, how does customer expectations shift as a result of the world that we're living in right now? I know that as a firm today, we are working on things like helping healthcare clients with coronavirus digital care journeys for their patients, or thinking about how to support providers in an ambulatory setting when they need to practice social distancing, or on the retail or consumer side of things, thinking about things like, you know, how to even enable curbside for brands where we're trying to, you know, take volume out of the drive-through and provide another pickup point for ease and convenience and speed. But, you know, Hayden, we're thrilled that you're here. Can you give us a little bit of insight in terms of how you're thinking about these customer expectations shifting as a result of the world we're living in now?
Thanks, Rajesh. I think you brought up two great examples with hospital care and also with retail, but the one that I'm really interested in is to see how consumer expectations shift around subscription-based pay models. Now that budgets are going to start to get tighter, I think companies and brands will have to think a lot more specifically and clearly about the value that they're delivering to their customers every time they hit them with that monthly subscription bill. I mean, we've been at the end of a 10, 12-year bull run where people have had tons of discretionary income, and it's really not that hard to convince somebody to sign up for a $7.99 Netflix subscription, or even a $40 or $50 Adobe Photoshop subscription. But now that a lot of that discretionary income is drying up, brands are going to have to think about how they message product updates or new features that are getting put in, or if there are additional services that their customers are actually getting in order to justify people continuing to pay in a subscription-based model. So I think we'll see new messaging, and maybe there will be new business models in terms of how brands charge their customers going forward.
Thanks so much, Hayden. I really appreciate that insight. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining Bottle Rocket News. We are thrilled that you watched this programming. I want you to know that this whole team at Bottle Rocket, we are all here for free and for fun to serve. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, please reach out to us, bottlerocketstudios.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.